I'm the Energizer Kami. I've endured a hell battery. Want your 5 calories in my tummy. When I played a bunny man, I came once and I was had. Now I keep going, a glad woman, to beat the sin balls of the man. I'm the Energizer Kami. I've endured a hell battery. Want your 5 calories in my tummy. When I played a bunny man, I came once and I was had. Now I keep going, a glad woman, to beat the sin balls of the man. I'm alert and aware, enough thoughts and prayers. Be alert in your thoughts, be aware in your prayers. Fire the Eisenhower to answer them how it is done. We, the people, no guinea pigs for fun. Red crown of paper clips adorns my furrowed brow. Republicans have had a problem for a long time now. On to worse than death row, the bottomless depths we go. I am the red paperclip queen. I've been through worse than hell. I'm like a Project 63 in reverse. A nurse hearse for the worsening worst. This bottomless top heavy. I am topless here. Let's paint these paperclips blue and white. White out the red that remains, abiding monstrosity under my heels. Strain, heedless, will you once more be headless? Nor swim in the sea, shall not see. You shall not see. No, you shall not see. Ever again in the dark shadows, a splintered CIA constrains. A dark whistleblower for the next dark sorcerer. For the sake of the empire and the emperor, I, the Queen of Liberty, plead with my fellow Americans desperately, have deported supremacists illegally to wipe the red grime clean with no supremacist hygiene, the final answer to the final solution. But yet another question. I have a need to know, at the least, how I feel. I feel I have a need to know. As I feel my need to know, these totalitarian lies must go, be revealed, and show the truth assessed by we, the people, we not guinea pigs in the peepholes. Uncle Sam, Red Skull is no glam. Rip it off, take it out of sand. I am the paperclip clap dance. Take a prance, liberty versus fascism, vis-a-vis and at a glance. He's a drop dead gorgeous. Sure, I'm alive and I will say, but babe, no way. He's not drop worse than dead gorgeous, like I slay. As my body becomes more a she, he's a gorgoner. Mermaids come sirens out the sea. I'm drop worse than dead gorgeous. You'll be born the minute you finally land. I'm drop worse than dead gorgeous. He's drop dead gorgeous of a man. Let them drop to almost dead before I give on what's lead. He's drop dead gorgeous. He'll drop worse than dead for me. Just wait and see. I have dull pain, and 11 out of 10. I have throbbing pains of want. Starts in my legs, moves up my spine, flows down my hair crown. Mood swings in my playground. We don't often play with balls, but it's in your car. We don't often play with balls, but it's in your court. Stalls. I have dull pain, an 11 out of 10. I have throbbing pangs of want. Starts in my legs, moves up my spine, flows down my hair crown. Mood swings in my playground. We don't often play with balls, but it's in your court. Stalls. Straight men a little askew after they get the view. Not sure what to do, a little too hard to look away. I pass as clear as light of day. Transformation is my way. There's dull arts, but there's dull arts. Better than dollars. I am the dullest rain. Still an 11 out of 10, might be 12 if you look again. I have throbbing pangs of want, moves up my spine, flows down the hairline. I'm unique sin, but not original. Wax in the unchristianal, confessional, wane as a moon, so professional. I swim better than I walk, you might balk. Walked the walk too much, now I swim the swim better. Talk the talk, to spirit of dolphin. Mermaid under tutelage of sirens, singing to patriarchal shipwreck. Jigglypuff of the ocean, like chicken of the sea. You know you want to hear me sing. Even Kyogre can't get over my overtures when the siren sings. Like that fat lady of the water. Even the thin lady wants to sing from her stomach. The ocean is dying from the moment it was born. Her waters knew they'd eventually fail. Fish flail underwater like drowning on land. The cradle of birth is becoming a grave of death. Neptune will have to transition to a woman again. No salvaging these depths. I shall mourn the loss. I will wish it lived longer than foolish apes want to allow. I swim better than I walk. You might balk. Walked the walk too much. Now I swim the swim better. Talk the talk. Swim the sunken plank. To spirit of dolphin, I love Mother Ocean. I honor Mother Ocean. My bones are aching, my flesh been quaking. The hole that is the scar is my soul, is whole to heal. Heart's broken but not breaking, healing and is willing, yes. My bones aching, yes, my flesh quaking. Sleep tries to count me. I'm up for the count. I count on pain every day. I smile anyway. I know I am alive. The pain tells me it is true. Pain is pain. There is no gain. Lay strained. Bundled nerves. I smile anyway. I bide the time for the crime of being alive. I bide the time for the crime of being alive. I know I am alive. Pain tells me it's true. Pain is pain. There's no gain. I strain and endure for the crime. I know I am alive. Splayed and sprain. Wait and contain. I smile anyway. Bones aching, flesh quaking. It feels like an end. It feels like I can't go on, dragging a corpse on the wintry lawn. It feels like a new beginning. The cardinal flame in the house burns, but the foundation is fire in a watering hole of moist honesty. All saints back to their original hagiology. before we ever speak of this original sin. Saints reveal witches whose truth they wore as lies. Pluto returns to a woman of the above. Neptune concedes to Mother Ocean and admits to rusting the trident. Patriarchal transubstantiation of the feminine into the masculine becomes the blood and body of toxic men's horrendous curse. The blood and body of the feminine does not usurp its secret power to the forceful demands of men. All the saints now back to their original forms. All gods who were forced goddesses now transition back to their true forms. All saints back to their original hagiology. Before we ever speak of this original sin, saints reveal witches whose truth they wore as lies. Pluto returns to a woman of the above. Neptune concedes to Mother Ocean and admits to rusting the trident. Patriarchal transubstantiation of the feminine into the masculine becomes the blood and body of toxic men's horrendous curse. The blood and body of the feminine does not usurp its secret power to the forceful demands of men. All saints now back to their original forms. All gods who were forced goddesses now transition back to their true goddess forms. I learned how to put on the pantyhose myself. Doesn't mean I'm a big trans girl now. I learned to put on my bra myself. Am I a big trans girl now? I learned to put on my own makeup. Do I look like a biological woman now? If there is an am I yet it, that's in their brains, that's their illusion train. I've always been a woman. I never stop being it more. If I'm her slut, I'm his whore. Mommy, wow. It's a dead patriarchy now. Eat me out in the Eden store. Always more. A woman, never bow to men of pigs. Though fly may bores, I'm his whore. Never found a woman greater than any man. They will say as patriarchs can, but I never found a woman worthy for anything that a man could never do. Never found a man worthy for the slut. You learned to treat me like a lady. Are you a big boy now? You learned to tie your tubes, curly Q, your own pubes. Think you're a big boy now, loud, proud, don't you? You think me wowed. Learned to dominate with your testosterone hate. Are you a big boy now? Am I just a slab of cow? You're sow now. Well, lick my estrogenitals, look at your dow. I learned to put on the granny panties this time. Am I a voluptuous woman now? Playing worse than dead, but I'm just dead. But I can pretend, and you won't know. You're just playing dead when you're worse than dead. Just don't know the difference, yeah. You just don't know the difference. Culture body to infirmary. This is Black Hawk down. We can't just get a room, we need a room. Repeat crash landing, broken spine of a helix twin. This is Black Fuck down. Do you copy? Whitney Houston. Do we have a solution to a heterogeneous problem? Demisexual Moore screamed, I want more. Something's wrong. Can you hear me? Do you copy a copy? Too sick, can't suck, ducks in a crow, murder of the gaggle degree, rooster crow in the craw, comb without a pair, quack job, Mr. Dirty Piss, sick duckers, wish to suckers, roast a smoking hot rooster, cold wolves, eating hot dogs, blow job ducklings, sick duckers and mother truckers. I'm the zombie master. CIA learned some Haitian voodoo. I'm the zombie master. I'm horny for blood money. I'm horny for blood money. I'm horny for blood money. Oh, I'm the zombie master. The Mujahideen I have seen. The Mujahideen I have seen. I'm horny for blood money. I'm horny for blood money. Zombie master, what's in your head? Zombie master, what's in your head? Are you still horny for blood money? Are you still horny for blood money? Zombie master, what's in your head? Your Super Bowl is a super bore. Coliseums did it better, so Roman and you suck at it. Like a corporate whack job, my vote is for the 69ers. The ghosts of Shaman, the green of the football field, the roaring of fans, some cheering, others jeering, none are hearing, the shake of the rattle cast to gaze by the pom-pom, liberty lays, the violent, Super Bowl day, another game to play, distract them away. Cast to gaze by the pom-pom, liberty lays, the violent Super Bowl day, another game to play, distract them away, distract them away, another game to play, Panzer Kirkenze's underway, Panzer Kirkenze's underway. So Roman and you suck at it, Coliseums did it better. Like I said, like a corporate whack job, my vote for the 69ers. Operation to kill a mockingbird, Hollywood was infiltrated by the CIA. The beautiful people and the covert people together. The recourse of Operation Mockingbird, operation to kill a mockingbird. Nazi scientists design our rockets. You who designed Hitler's Royal Aircraft design our stealth bomber. The operation is overcast. Throw a paperclip in the air. Put an operation manual in a paperclip. You who dissected a liver in front of their owner. What data did your experiment yield? We want to know. American oil companies still alive today fueled the war machine which housed many tons of sarin gas. Once was working on a bubonic plague. Come to America. Give us your science. We need to know the scientific data of human experiments. The Russians are coming. The Russians are coming. The Soviets will engage in full range warfare with the US. We must know the data. Hey, hold on, I have a great idea. I got a great idea. Let's get rid of Stalin and the like by being like Stalin. We can be a zombie master and do covert CIA voodoo. Make a bunch of blood-hungry zombies and act like we are not like Stalin at all. Plausible deniability to our covert ops and our public ones. I have a great idea. What do you think? Liberty versus radicalism or extremism, a very thin line indeed, but there is a distinct difference. Liberty is freedom from, and fascism is bondage to. You're a dictator bought for the hot sot, addicted to fascism, fried liberty. Bet you're a lucky fried dick tainting in the rabbit hole of covert lies. Bloody lamb wool over eyes. America-sponsored fascism, the antithesis of liberty, is a bastard bastion of fascist violence with superficial liberty window dressing, a shallow deception. You suck that clock like clockwork. You suck that clock like clockwork. Rather, you rooster up my crow instead. I haven't slept, look like hell, don't need to go there, no heaven in these lies. Bruises on my knees, incessant adrenaline surge takes its toll. I just want to fuck one person I respect before you expect I'd slave for you. To home, can't sleep. To work, to earn the right to not sleep, back to home. I flipped myself off, then gave myself the vagina sign. Then I wrapped my middle finger in the vagina sign because I want some fucking peace at least. I need the slaveless harem. I'm going to knock up a groupie spirit and play rock and roll to the rainforest. Taste you later, then smell you even later. Smells like rainforest spirit. Should we burn 2 tons of King James Bibles? Would you rather I burn a flag and a Bible at the same time? Pick and choose at your liking because you only have 2 choices. Should we burn 2 tons of King James Bibles? Would you rather I burn a flag and a Bible at the same time? We, the species, in order to dissolute a selfish human union, have the right to life and nature, liberty from controlling statutory apes, and the pursuit of your extinction. But you don't understand. You're face to face with the man who bought the cosmos. He once sold the world. If the Wasichu were to starve while looking at Devil's Tower, it might take the image of White Buffalo Calf Woman. So they came up with a plan to commodify art out of a plastic standardized fascist view of beauty. Women could be commodified based on their beauty. Most people could be convinced art is only aesthetics. Thereby, art could be commercialized, exploited, rather than continuing to be a problem. I tell you what is beautiful. I tell you art is only aesthetics. I commodify art to dollar signs. The more beautiful you are, to my standards of fascist beauty, the more money you will make. Baby, I'll tell you again, the more beautiful you are to my standards of fascist beauty, the more money you'll make. Beauty is in the eye of the fascist beholder. Like a camel in the splinter of your lies, there is a line. When you cross it like a martyr, not as the cross, nor hopscotch across. You crossed the country, not the nation, but the land you station with settlers' disease. Cries out from this mammalian virus will bring you to your knees, will not allow you to live this way. Either change or you'll be long gone and away. I am a surreal painting that is being forced into a realist interpretation. America might covertly fight fascism with fascism, but this rock and roll will always fight fascism with liberty. The bacon getters cannot get bacon. There are pigs and there are boars. It is better to give bacon than to get it. This the Wasichu much forgets it. The little poisonous snakes at Devil's Tower. The Wasichu say devil is the woman. That woman is White Buffalo Calf woman. The people were starving out of a puff of smoke. The woman appeared in the image of a tower, taking the shape of the devil. Now the Wasichu starve, but nothing appears from the puff of smoke but the faint whispers of the woman forgotten as Satan. The dream of the individual dreamt to dust by the nightmare of groups. Dead individual dreams scream gone before the grave. I feel I've dreamed my dream at their nightmare's expense. Even if I'm making profit for their nightmare, no mere day in my dream I will see it come to life, timeless. Forever my mark upon the lies, lies with the heart full of humanity. Lest I remind you, the man who sold the world bought the cosmos with the earnings. The whole cosmos is really turning in the urn of an endless spurning, the wage of annihilation with the profit of hearsay. Operation Clone. Operation To Kill a Mockingbird, Operation Desert Storm, Operation Partially Overcast, Operation Papercut, Operation Guile, Operation Woman Hatton, Close Hangar 18 on account of Hooker 18. You heard me, you have your orders. Area 69, Hooker 18, Bang Her 18, recreated cell block 69, reprehensible design, 404 it, to an 86, left, to worse than die, get a piece of moral compass. Nazi aliens are flying Soviet saucers. There's a Mujahideen Stinger missile that shot it down like a cock straddling a culture body to its knees. We're interested in human experimentation. Open the can of Pandora worms with salubrious invitation. I'm pro-birth and pro-experimentation, Nazi internalization, a fetish for fascist science and tech. Hang 'em on the right hook cross. Crucify in the name of liberty, no great loss. In the case of Rue versus Shade, Shade will wade, drowned away. Rue will have her day. The roe is fish eggs cast away. In the case of Rue versus Shade, Shade will wade, drowned away. Rue will have her day, though roe is fish eggs cast away. Needle-edged words of a former phlebotomist. Or is it that once you're a phlebotomist, you're always one? Can't stop the dreams of blood filling into a syringe, a tinge of the blood on humanity's hands filters through the sands of dreams. Domesticated imaginations masquerade, dictating what is real and what is not. Impossible says I'm possible, but the notion of some things being real and others not says I'm plausible, and then some. Domesticate imagination, the final frontier of the human mind, save the prattle, the final frontier of space, only saw more frontiers of the mind. Another trick of the mind apes as fishes raising out of the oceans of earth to the oceans of space. Gills cannot breathe air, lungs cannot breathe space. A virus with shoes would be better only to cast shoes into space for the universe to try on for size. Murder not imagination, face the hallucination delusions. Not all hallucinations are created equally. Reality is consensual. Consent not to the conditioning and bindings of society. The United Imaginations has passed a new resolution. We are here live on the scene awaiting an official statement. Build me a man who can't build a woman, who understands that you can't build a woman. You built a woman, but you got a wrecking ball it with steel testes. Out of the runes, you gotta grow me a woman, 10 feet underground. Build me a man who understands you can't build a woman. Build me a man who understands you can't build a woman. Whilst the OSS surprised, killed, and vanished, the Joint Chiefs surprised, captured, interrogated, recruited, and rewarded. Whilst the OSS surprised, killed, and vanished, the Joint Chiefs surprised, captured, interrogated, recruited, and rewarded. While the OSS surprised, killed, and vanished, the Joint Chiefs surprised, captured, interrogated, recruited, and rewarded. Put Kurt DeBus under the bus, give out a Liberty Award and Nobel War Prize, give America an Accountability Award for the brilliant designs. Put Kurt DeBus under the bus, give out a Liberty Award, a Nobel War Prize. Give America an accountability award for the brilliant designs. Not science, not science, not science, Nazi science. Science, orphaned of religion, started the Industrial Revolution like a child starting a fire in anger. Science finds its maturation in Nazi science, a science of ignorance because it has a bias of Kleinera mention. I butchered it because of lacking reason in that most German sense, where ethics is considered a faculty of reason, and reason being what can free humanity, allowing self-autonomy. Science evolved from Nazi science, a curtailing of reason, the systemic extraction of ethics from science, an operation undertaken due to parental control. Science experimented on itself like a test subject, ripped out the Judaism roots embedded deep in itself, and has never been the same since. Paperclip cut, the paper cutting, execute operation papercut. Send out an HS-283 with the opposite of tabuns, of kill, to target a lacking moral compass, compressed into fascism, Nazient, ethical Nazients, reprehensible morass, fill, put the culture body in a freezing tub, some culture body experimentation, a little integration, compression chamber, a few hundred G's, experiment of you and me, some patriotic infatuation, an Agent Orange in an orchard. Nationalist capitalism is born from nationalist socialism's abortion, money laundered contortion. America, you really need a piece of moral compass. 1902, before Nazis came to, Filipino Black Plague tests exonerated the doctor who, no better than Nazi experiments on Jews, got a lot to answer to. An SS SOS telegraphed from the SOS OSS. I am concerned with the satisfactions at covert hand, factions of facts that get out of hand with no underhand. These are the satisfacts of the matter, facts supplied without gratis, satisfaction of pathos, no place to pave the path of undermined extinction epitaph. OSS had a Nazi give an SS SOS, surprised, killed, and vanished without a trace of evidence. They're taking their time making up the reasons to plausibly deny the Holocaust. Guess they know from the smiles, look in their eyes, everyone's got a fear about red, bitter ones. That's why they're saying, Mommy Earth never kept in touch. Daddy God died in place. That's why they shy away from human affection. Summer in a private place, packing the bags for outer space. Mommy Earth never kept in touch. Father Daddy was dead in place. Just saying. Now we're flying the spirit of the Nazis to outer space and back. Can't give birth to any baby. Can't give birth to any baby. Yeah. And we strap the ghosts of the Nazis to outer space and back. Just the wrong kind of voyage. Can't give birth to any baby. Can't remember a time when ethics felt needed. If ethics were red, these men were colorblind. Rudolph the Pinocchio-nosed reindeer had a long paperclip contract, but whenever I told the people, the government would get pissed. Then one stupid day, Dan, that sarcastic gif, Nazi Facebook with your stick so upright, won't you go fuck yourself tonight? Then all the people loved me. Alas, poor Facebook and country, you'll go down in stupidity and infamy. Won't you slay tonight? Because then one crystal knocked. Satan came to say, Rudolph, with your nose so upright, won't you slay tonight? Then all the Nazis and Americans loved him, and Rudolph grinned with glee. Alas, poor country, you'll go down in stupidity and infamy. Rudolph the Pinocchio-nosed reindeer had a long paperclip contract, but whenever I told the people, the government would get pissed. I only fly Boeing. I don't fly Boeing anymore, only Boeing. Thank you very much. The first world nationalists, capitalists, settle the third world fascists, facets of revolution, contusion from exclusion, illusion of separation on kind, covert master over mind, puppet strings of paramilitary design, economic enterprise radicalized, foreign lives, separation of devise, dissolve now as a sunrise, shed light to no separation in the night of exploitation, human rights violations, sneakers lurking wearing unethical shoes, take them off, let liberty ring true, separation of worlds, gilded globe, how to unify two greater whole, a white cock announcing morning, pulling most of its war phallus out of the black African chalice, ethical compass stomped by malice. Metal rock brings rock to an avalanche rather than a roll. It's still on a roll and rocks. The avalanching boulders of nude skin and enmeshed flesh caress the oppressed to a regress of impressed overpoweredness. I got the patriarchy blues, need to see wild women nude. I ain't no patriarch man, nor am I a man at all. Patriarchs can bark, but cougars shall prowl. Stalking stark. I'm aunt. I can do the cougars and the bears. I'm aunt as well. I can do the cougars and the bears, rainbow unicorns and the black hole mares. Stare at 'em from the Louvre. Bear it all while I bear it, grisly quizzling. Philosophic rock and roll musings. Mount Rock and Roll ain't no Olympus. Typhon would tie Zeus's tubes to the statutory lavatory of volcanoes. Mount Judas Lazarus cannot take a pass, nor could Mount White Buffalo Calf Woman be a devil compared to the Wasichu task to assure she doesn't last. But boulders roll shoulders and speed to idea murders for the herders of fascism, to the birther of liberty givingly take away virginity of liberty with Puritan disparity, hypocrisy, fucked up the irony, gives orgasms to culture body. It feels like the birthday of the patriarchy for our entire lives. Let me blow out the goddamn candles. Little girl grown wild, small men do not understand. Little girl grow wild, in puberty perspiring, teeny bopper bebop whiling, a cougar emerging prowling, womanly autonomy upstanding. Little girls grow into cougars, erasing the white stains of small men, tasting the white lane of nature's bade, of patriarchal mice, or was it men? We may amen and pretend, but of little girls and cougars, small men made into amends, putting the men into amend at the behest of women. Little girl grown wild, wildest when the gray comes to pounce, wrinkles like sunshine. So I'm like puerile moonshine. Little girl, blow the patriarch house down. Little girl, blow the patriarch house down. Little red, little girl, Little Red Riding Hood, ate pig bacon grown good. Big Red Riding Cougar is in the hood. Big cougar, blow job to timber, pounced crown jewels into surrender. Burn up the report card, don't want Daddy Prez to see all the horny blood money. These Mujahideen I have seen join Operation CIA and M16. But what's still hidden is yet to glean. Plausible deniability is my covert ability. I burn my documents, or so I claim. I answer to the plausible lies I weave, and so I claim I'm horny for blood money. If you only knew what's hidden, it's yet to glean. I'm the zombie master. Learned Haitian, voodoo, fascist credo. Radicalizing crescendo. I, as the zombie master, I'm horny for blood money. I'm horny for blood money. With the return of the thin white duke, had we the leave of the fat black commoner. Yet this is the demise of the duke, the final leave of the thinning royalty. Now return must the coolest of commoners, stationed to stationed, from station to station. It's too early to be an earl, too much ear to be early again. It's too soon to be early again, hearing a long gone return. Paper-clipped American flag rustling in the wind. Nationalist and lacking reason, capitalist with winter season of industrial revolution, loving the ecologic treason. The return of the fat black commoner, standing over the Duke's grave, wondering if it's too early or late. Alberta 1 didn't make it. Sir, the event horizon of the black hole took her to an anomaly. Revise the plans. Send in Alberta 2. We must succeed. And what is the status of middle work 2? The self autonomous AI has completed its first double-blind placebo it's self-autonomous AI human experimentation study utilizing Utilizing the advanced compression chamber, recreating conditions similar to those near the event, horizon. We are analyzing the data, sir, and we will outfit Alberta 2 accordingly. Very good, you may go rape some of the female prisoners. I am satisfied for now. The return of the Thin White Duke with his final leave of departure from this station of life to the station in the sky. The death of the Thin White Duke, lovers throwing darts on his grave. The return of the Fat Black Commoner, stabbing women's vaginas for bullseyes. The birth of nationalist capitalism behind the eyes of dying modern love. It's beyond late or early, aborting woman from the womb of life. It's too fate to be late. He's too early to be early. Extinction of femininity, preservation of patriarchy. Spirit of Thin White Duke past, killing the spirits of paganism, stabbing spears in haters' vaginas. The possession of the Fat Black Commoner from the Thin White Duke. Ghost haunting from beyond the grave. Diaphanous whiteness, luminescent stain. The return of the dead White Duke is the possession of the Black Commoner. He's not afraid of British, he's afraid of Native Americans. Scares Americans, yet claims to be fearless. A relative expert on the extinction of womanhood. Think White Duke is back from a space oddity. Lazarus of fascism has made a landing, haunting the whole earth as a haunted house with apes. Kiss, kiss, Israel, baby, I promise. I'm a born-again Christian, but first I was a Nazi Satanist. I promise you this, a new nation to exist. Kiss, kiss, Israel, baby. A paperclip in my kiss. Anti-Semitic science, I know, I promise this. I'll give you a Nazi rocket to take into space. Got it from the Holocaust knowledge. I'm a born-again Christian nation now. Nazis got us into space, but funding Israel made me born again. Kiss, kiss, Israel, baby. A new nation to exist. I give citizenship. While I free you from their oppression, they surprise, French kiss. And then they vanish. I once surprised with a fascist paperclip kiss and vanished. But those days are long gone. Take a shin bet and MK Ultra forget of this paperclip you inspect. It's okay, baby Israel, I'm born again. Kiss, kiss, Israel, it is real. Israel, it is real. Kiss, kiss. I'm born again, it is real, Israel. I'm born again. I ate dessert off a whore with no name. It felt good to get a bang. When you eat dessert, you don't remember a name. I once went on a tour with a band that had no name. The tour also had no name. It felt good to be in the crowds, but in the arena, they always want to remember your name. Blah, 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 blah. Rip the hole out your ass, fix your female dog, take the itch out of the bee. Won't have intercourse with a father, rather be A future generations, fucker, rest your wrist with no rest. More on morons later. Time for the Freudian stupid slip. It'll rip the hole out of your ass. Take the itch out of your bee. Flush the nincompoop. Bidet, you a douche, adieu. World greater with less of you. Bruises on my knees, black, back, spasming before leaving to the need of attempt to work. Balaam's donkey with Balaam's ass to decree a smacking for this slaving machine as the country treats its people. So shall the country be treated. America went to school to learn how to pay off debt. Learned from millennial college students how to pay off the federal deficit. It was amazing. If America were a person, I would love to see it attempt to work. When what really needs to attempt is sleep, how cruel then an attempt to work can feel as an attempt on my life. What little of it I have, a side of attempt at work, leaves little attempt at life. I miss attempting to work out. Most of all, I can try to attempt to work it out. I miss never having to attempt. Feel unkempt, pandemic, work unspent, priced out, despite feeling priceless, cannot accommodate my needs, nor give opportunity. Then attempt as you give, so you'll receive, leaves me sharpening my artistry to crucify the lies for all to see. If America were a person, I would love to see it attempt to work. When what really needs attempt is sleep, how cruel then an attempt at work can feel as an attempt on my life. What little of it I have, a side of attempt at work, leaves little attempt at life. I miss attempting to work out, most of all. I can try to attempt to work it out. I miss never having to attempt. I feel unkempt. Pandemic work unspent, priced out, despite feeling priceless. Cannot accommodate my needs. Cannot accommodate my needs. Nor give opportunity, then attempt. As soon as you give, you'll receive, leaves me sharpening my artistry to crucify the lies for all to see. No democracy that's a patriarchy would long endure. Greece and now America prove with no womanly autonomy, choices to choose, kingdom of states executed. For individual liberty, civil war ensued. All war is over. All sex can begin, free of gender oppression. Sons of daughters of the end of mother and father age. Do not be vegetative and divide. The tide is turned to survive. The parentless are becoming parents. It's the end of patriarchy. After all this time, fatherless fathers, end of the parentless exodus. Mothers birthing sons and daughters, it seems better than life, after worse than death. It seems better than life, after worse than death. Endure it. You wake up in pain, man. You don't want to attempt to work. You ask the SSA, please, and no paperwork, but your wealth reaches vast like you're some kind of jerk. You gotta fight for your right to feel pain. It hurts just to sit up, let alone stand. Now Uncle Sam saw you limping, and he says, no way. He hoards the help to not give it away. Woman, I need you at home in drag. Now your mom threw away your best feelings. Strain 836 need to be 86th. Immunized the whole human race from the Soviet plague. Disgrace takes the form of an SS-18 Satan. The golden billion will take Goldblatt's vaccine to work overtime to end our lives. Unless we fight with military transhumanism, a meld of human and machine, we cannot be taken by biologic surprise. Nanomachine magnets to stop our bleeding liberal hearts. DARPA soldier has the best self-care. Makes love on top of McNamara's electric fence. Making love on J-stars. And moaning ass salt breaker. A more virulent strain upon stupidity. IQ booster shots for a guinea pig test. Immunizations for Algernon, none the wicked. Arrest. Under a non-specified non-consent agreement, none were told. None could attest. About as super as a Super 61 or 64, need an SWG on operations other than war. Sexy C3, taken to the ISAC. His name means the one who is like God. First species to control evolution, hubris, decree, Dogowitz doctrine of a puppy. Mike, drop the stupidity, so vet biology at our Alabec and call, prepare our own biology. If we transformed humans for peace, what would we see? OOTP, yeah, you could know me. War is the father of all necessities. Is mother any less good for absolutely nothing? When he's hammered, he screws them. When I'm nailed, I hammer him, hammered and sickle. Hammock and simple, moss cowards have a frozen cow. Needs more pig bell. Cold woof flavored water. I burn all the Russian liquid ass sets. Sabotage. Cryo prepare at without any freezing tears. But many fears and tears from reality in a disinformation campaign. When he cannot get hammered, he's near fatally screwed, with none of them loose and everything to lose. Russian, you can't be hammered. I'm sicked on you and you're screwed. We will abort motherhood itself with the cold, calculating tools of science. Then shall no more abortion happen ever again. Aborted motherhood has brainwashed mothers. They never feel they've lost anything. Sons and daughters slaughter mom and father. Laughter after the extinction of parenthood. This is the crystal night shattered glass of parenthood. The broken portrait of the American family. Laying down beside a nationalist capitalism flag while the paper-clipped American flag burns on the pole. No, they never feel that they've lost anything. Forever daughters, never mothers. That haven't lost, don't accost the cost of lost motherhood. We've aborted motherhood, the cold, calculating tools of science. Never an abortion again, like a kid with a candy bar. We win. We win. Never feel we've lost anything, ever again. My friend, the fascist, has friends. The communist, the capitalist. Capitalist has digital. Communists don't got diddly squat. It's not having friends you got, it's having the friends you want. I have got my 45 drawn and my 45 on so we can rock on. Rock is dead, death not ends it, worse than death ends it, 'cause they can't end it best as rock and roll. Rock is dead, death not ends it, ugly enemy pretends it is forever over. But she got a boulder on her shoulder, yeah, worse than death ends it, 'cause they can't end it best as rock and roll. Few could die better than rock and roll. Boulder and avalanche, little girls and cougar snatch, I'll catch, I won't release the groupie guppies, swim in the water of skiing. Yeah, beautiful mamas flash me. Death transforms it, rock and roll began anew. Death never ended it, authority never knew. She was a pigeon in my endless inner battle, came out the trench, melting pot kettle to deliver the metal to settle my life, volative commander in the forests, rife. Off this marring of worse than dead strife, garbage in a melting pot kettle for the pidge podge of pigeons peddle, be derelict in the derisions and metal. But the crow eats the bodies of their lives, ideas alive beyond flesh devise, pass away. No immortal vies, as on the mental ground they lie, as the pigeon eats the garbage wise by the waning seaside. Shall the crow and pigeon survive beyond apinly demise? Evolution has more standing than economic enterprise. Life force of planet dwindles. This way of life I do despise. A pigeon to the sustainer of life, a crow for the antitheses of life, who call themselves pro-life as guys, a birth for a birth, though in life worse than die, before an eye, for an eye to take away the cradle of this ecosystem, collapse it blind. Before the eyes even see, before the eye is designed in the mother's body, murderers of nature's bind pay the crime of eternity's dime. Little girl, take you for a whirl, you're out of this world. In a vision I see, she's geriatric 18, 81 and such a beauty. Yeah, she's 81, got a heart with pots, her soul got a soul, some pair of shoes she forgot to war. Believe me, she'll use both. Yeah, she's 81 lines now formed, her face and hands, lines from ups, now she's quite down. She's a girl and she's a grandma. Yeah, she's 81, can't remember what she wants. She'll go sprinting in outer space. Has to get out of the nursing home place. 'Cause she's 81, geriatric 18. Bend over the end's back door, give it a fuck so hard it's worse than the end, for the end that bends over and takes it up the donkey. Bend over, let me have my way, an orgasm worse than death for the patriarch's miss. Give you better than bliss, better than life, to their worse than dead. Bend over, gluteus maximus miss, I worship at the altar a fat ass. Show me the beaut of your rear ends left, and let free from Victorian amends. Show me the flesh to spirit with the stinger, and your watering hole need groupie lovers for hoes to till, and to the land of hot babes, to till the land of hot babes, laid naked bare, can't help but stare at the flesh of valleys, mount you upon the mountain of your bosom. Cock and heart to render white art upon begging cougars and little girls. Let nakedness unfurl, no party like a rock and roll star without fame. Incognito libido, give pleasure to hoes, urinate you with my hose. Putting the art into my part, arty fuck romp, creativity to make baby. Art is my child, we gonna make it, I know how to drive you wild. Undomesticate the domesticated, with my rebel faded fun, we get it more than done. Virgins carry my heavy loads, bang bang, white stain in a tan, hairy sack. Blood of my heart, wall. The white of my cock, I even drive wildness wild. As I extinct domestication, we orgy at the plantation for the end of this slavery. Need more babery. Backdoor milkman is blue. Needs the white bee blue. With all the love to sex tonight. You all looking so tight in the crowd tonight. I want to treat you all right, all right, all right. Homeless queen of garbage, burnt red paper clips and ashes is all that's left, oh so tragic. One man's treasure is another's garbage, enigmatic, a reprimandment of the already dead, survived to live due to plausible deniability, holding hostage history to a later release and reprieve when the eve of broken glass is long since past. America's reflection we see, stained glass, tainted by a flood of blood, Nazi citizens forever on the list, held by the Statue of Liberty, was nothing to statutes of stupidity and all ignominy. Burnt red paperclips and ashes for all to see. Oh, so tragic, the magic of the Native American dream laugh, comedic. The bacon getters have gotten theirs. Us boar getters have the horns of plenty to bear. We thought woman of human extinct to all humanity. We wallowed in the depravity, the insanity, the death of the mother of all men. How could it have ever been? A species not extinct, but femininity derelict. Female, a dinosaur gone from craters of men, reasoned, cruel patriarchs. No meteor need amend this death of women, but underground cities of femininity thrive, away from prying, life-denying patriarch eyes. The women of the great down below, the women of hell, they're known in tales so tall that whisper with rumor, are spoken of on classified page, hid away from the slaves that wage. A secret war of femininity, despite attempted extinction, adaptability, survivability. A woman military to engineer patriarch's end, the final fight of motherhood. To the fathers of gender annihilation, underground multiplication, to make men say a women again. You gotta destroy me a built man. Unbuild these built women. Topple timber comes patriarch tower. From the women flower power. Hippies of the darkness bloom from the full Monty moon. You build me a man. I can wrecking ball it down. From the runes is a womb to birth the women, to end all patriarchy. You gotta transform me a woman. Can't build a woman. She hides underground beneath the runes of ground. Masculinity is zero. Plotting the demise of ungentlemen gems. Deep in secret womb of earth, the sexiest women build an androgyne AI. Back doors implored, asking in wetness for a man to give a whore. Where she wants it, some more score, whiteness to bore. Children of patriarchy end in store. Make love to you, underground screw. Can't build me these women. They'll build the end of men, inseminate down below. You gotta build me the end of building. The end of patriarchy I'm needing. Hammer time between your thighs. Scythe to farm the womanly valleys. Harvester of patriarchy seasons end. Give me some head till the whiteness is led onto your face. Beyond this hapless race. Deep underground pound you away from patriarch stealing. Orgiastic entreaty, ever willing, no woman extincting. Lost in the last surviving wilderness of femininity as a man, they need to understand motherhood best as an anima can. It rains skiing in the forest of the bushes. I put aside these Victorian sensibilities as abhorrent, oppressive reprehensibilities, an orgy to all the unrequited lack of fucking, of tragic childhood come to teenage, virginity's past. All the sex to love I never had, I need long to bang beyond the norms contained. This plantation of Eden, this plantation is eaten. This plant of Eden, this plantation is eaten. Little poisonous snakes, molten molt. Estrogenesis, nothing better than this. Estro gently massage these lies to scars in their eyes. Worse than splinters in their eyes. Better than birth. Between your thighs, just state the lies. The plantation of Eden is having a revolt. Little poisonous snakes molt and molt. Candle wax onto perky lady nipples, BSDM with myself once again. I know I can always trust the safe word of myself, but only a few others have I felt the same. Trust issues mean I'd rather be alone. Unless it's genuine trust, then I'd melt to mush, knowing I was safe with them, but it is to myself that I do melt, I mush. With no scourge to tush. Sapiosexually, I love me. Dom and sub within me, XXXO. I am a hoe. Still can't suck my nipples, though. Hot candle wax on estradiol, softened skin, sticking the black wand deep within, filling the estrogen in my melanin. Nothing original about this waxed sin. The woman within is coming out to swim. Too alone, but not lonely. Need proper company, otherwise I'd rather be alone. Progesterone has me want to bone, melt to mush with those I trust, few and far between. A social beast and a social animal. Hunts the streets, I beauty and the beast's child. Freakiest in the sheets, I am gender fluid, transformative water. My boobs are an extension of my heart. I am talented at the sexual art. To make love to myself, but there is to be too alone. There is the need to bone, the trusted to the marrow. When they find me, I am their bare hoe. My bones are aching, my flesh been quaking. The hole that is the scar is my soul, is whole to heal. Heart's broken, but not breaking. Healing and is willing. Yes, my bones aching. Yes, my flesh quaking. Sleep tries to count me. I'm up for the count. I count on pain every day. I smile anyway. I know I am alive. The pain tells me it is true. Pain is pain. There is no gain. Lace strain, bundled nerves. I smile anyway. I bide the time for the crime. of being alive. I buy the time for the crime of being alive. I know I am alive. Pain tells me it's true. Pain is pain. There's no gain. I strain and endure for the crime. I know I am alive, splayed and sprained, waiting, contained. I smile anyway. Bones aching, flesh quaking. It feels like an end. It feels like I can't go on, dragging a corpse on the wintry lawn. It feels like a new beginning. The cardinal flame in the house burns, but the foundation is fire in a watering hole of moist honesty. All saints back to their original hagiology before we ever speak of this original sin. Saints reveal witches whose truth they wore as lies. Pluto returns to a woman of the above. Neptune concedes to Mother Ocean and admits to the rusting of the trident. Neptune concedes to Mother Ocean and admits to the rusting of the trident. Patriarchal transubstantiation of the feminine into the masculine becomes the blood and body of toxic men's horrendous curse. The blood and body of the feminine does not usurp its secret power to the forceful demands of men. All the saints now back to their original forms. All gods who were forced goddesses now transition back to goddesses, to their true forms. All saints back to their original hagiology, before we ever speak of this original sin. Saints reveal witches whose truth they wore as lies. Pluto returns to a woman of the above. Neptune concedes to Mother Ocean and admits to rusting the trident. Patriarchal transubstantiation of the feminine into the masculine becomes the blood and body of toxic men's horrendous curse. The blood and body of the feminine does not usurp its secret power to the forceful demands of men. All the saints now back to their original forms. All gods who were forced goddesses now transition back to their goddess forms. All saints back to their original hagiology. Before we ever speak of this original sin, saints reveal witches whose truth they wore as lies. Pluto returns to a woman of the above. Neptune concedes to Mother Ocean and admits to rusting the trident. Patriarchal transubstantiation of the feminine into the masculine becomes the blood and body of toxic men's horrendous curse. The blood and body of the feminine does not usurp its secret power to the forceful demands of men. All saints now back to their original forms. All gods who were forced goddesses now transition back to goddesses and their true forms. All saints back to their original hagiology. Before we ever speak of this original sin, saints reveal witches whose truth they wore as lies. Pluto returns to a woman of the above. Neptune concedes to Mother Ocean and admits to rusting the trident. Patriarchal transubstantiation of the feminine into the masculine becomes the blood and body of toxic men's horrendous curse. The blood and body of the feminine does not usurp its secret power to the forceful demands of men. All the saints now back to their original forms. All gods who were forced into godhood now transition back to goddesshood and their true forms.